Hello everyone, welcome to Pop Review. I'm Alex.
I'm Sean.
Today we're talking about the new Lion King movie, and I would rather watch Avatar again than watch this one. So if you're interested in finding out why I didn't like it as much as the original, please stay tuned. So, there's a reason I'm holding this massive goblet of wine. It's because we're talking about the Lion King today, and
The new Lion King.
The new Lion King.
2019 Lion King.
And if you guys have been watching the channel and watching the discussions that we've had on the trailers leading up to this point, but also for like things like Aladdin or other Disney movies that they seem to be
Beauty and the Beast
remaking, we're not necessarily 100% on board with this trend. So,
well, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm 100% not on board. I think our stance is always, if you're gonna do a remake, justify doing the remake by doing something different.
Right.
And Aladdin was weird, but I would give them at least a little bit of credit that they tried something different.
Yeah.
Whether you think it worked or not is another story, but at least they put their own take on it, their own spin on it.
Yes, I agree.
With The Lion King,
this is the same movie, but with photorealism. And, okay, I don't know where to start here.
I mean,
where do you want to start?
I mean, just...
There's a lot to talk about.
Let's get the really good out of the way first, is that visually, it's stunning.
It also freaks me out. I mean, that's like some deepfake territory.
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
like, you can really...
The fact that none of that stuff is real is weird. Like, I took my young nephews and my niece to see the movie, and they thought we were, at one point, like when we got home and they were telling their dad about it, they were like, well, we were watching like the Safari Channel, pretty much was what they were saying. It's like, almost like they were watching Natural Geographic, because it looked ridiculously good.
Right.
And it's just hard to believe that it's come so far that none of that was real.
Yeah.
The grass, the sky, none of it. It was just amazing.
Yeah, it is. It does kind of freak you out a little bit, honestly. But it really was beautiful.
Yeah.
I would say, for me, other thing that I liked about this movie, I thought the voice performances were very good.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
Except for Scar.
Well, trust me,
but
we will get to Scar.
We
will get to Scar.
Scar, yeah, we're going to have to.
But it's funny how James L. Jones still was doing Mufasa both times, and it's still I couldn't tell like how much obviously he's a lot older now, but the effect on it still had on me.
Oh, really? Because I feel like he kind of phoned it in a little bit, to be honest. I was kind of like, it didn't have that you know, the gravitational pull that you feel, the booming. I didn't feel like it was booming, a booming Mufasa voice. It was just kind of like, oh, I did this already, I'll just do it again slightly differently, but...
Well, I don't think he did anything different. Now, maybe his voice doesn't have as much impact as it used to, but the fact that when Mufasa dies, oh, spoiler alert, you guys know that, it still is just like, oh yeah, he died. It's like, I know it's coming, but it's just still like, ooh, yeah, it's still painful. It still works, so like that part still worked for me. I wouldn't say he mailed it in, I would just say his voice is just not as powerful as it used to, but it was still impactful enough for me.
It's such a strange... I don't understand this at all. So, they're gonna cast one of the original voice actors. Did none of the other original ones want to do it? Or they're all too white? Or, like, what happened here? Because I felt like it was really weird to have an original voice, but then all new ones, and it just felt very... It didn't feel right.
I mean, I think James Earl Jones' voice as Mufasa is... Besides Scar, I think is one of the... when you think of the character, you hear the voice too. So why didn't they... I mean, I think all the characters are kind of like that. But I think Mufasa, because he's such a powerful character, to ask someone else, considering James Earl Jones is still around, to do that is a daunting task.
It's all a daunting task, you know.
But I think that's more so for me easier than. Harder recasting that than casting Simba.
I disagree. They're all equally easy to recast, in my opinion. They're all equally. There are plenty of talented voice actors out there.
I agree that
who
they
also are not A-list. Like, this is another trend.
True.
Another trend that I'm not happy
think,
about. Like, you don't have to hire a celebrity every time you make an animated movie.
But we know that's a trend now. But I think it's almost like if Robin Williams was still alive and they said, all right, he's gonna be the voice of the genie. He's gonna be the genie again. Everybody would have been like, cool. I don't want anyone else to do that. Unfortunately, he wasn't, so they had to do something else. I just feel like Mufasa was just...
I feel like it has to be all or nothing.
It's so
like,
iconic.
Either start from scratch, or... The whole movie's iconic. So either start from scratch, or get all the original voice actors back. Because what's the point?
Then I would have been even more frustrated if they did that.
Why?
Because then... Why are you even making the movie then? If you're literally going to bring everybody back...
Well, why?
Then what the hell
here's
is the
the
difference?
Thing. When I say the voice acting was good, what I mean is they pretty much copied what was already there from the original, so it was not new in any way. It was pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So they did a good job pretending to be as good as the original voice actors. So that's what I mean. So I still feel like this movie in general is pointless. If you want to use that technology to show us something new, you know, maybe you don't have to remake a Disney film. You could do something new. I don't know.
I think that's the next challenge with that technology is do something different. Like the Jungle Book looked great too. But I would say Jon Favreau took a little bit more liberties with the Jungle Book than he did with Lion King. I mean...
Well, that's an older one. The Jungle Book is 1968. I think that was the last animated film that Walt Disney was alive to oversee. Yeah. That was a long time ago, so it makes sense to want to see it in this new light and sort of breathe new life into it. The Lion King really wasn't that long ago.
No.
I mean, did it really need... Do we need this? We don't need this. They just want money.
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem you making
a lot of people
Disney
like
making
it.
money.
So I'm so conflicted. This is just such a weird time to be living in.
It really is because now, and my nephews are, I can attest to this. When you say Lion King now, their first thought is going to be of this movie and not the original, and I think that's kind of sad because the one thing that the original has going for it are those songs. And those songs don't work in this movie. They just don't. It was bothersome in the Jungle Book too. It's hard to see these realistic animals freaking singing.
Yes.
It's hard.
Yes.
It's hard to get into the groove of the song without animation. It's just hard. For me, it's just hard.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. We can talk about that now. Let's talk about these songs. And let's talk a little bit about the art direction in both films. There basically was no art direction in this new film. It was like, okay, it has to be as real as possible.
Yeah.
That's the art direction. There's really nothing coming from, you know, your own imagination or your mind. It's just sort of like, well, just make it look real.
Yeah.
Whereas in the original, you know, we saw, at least when they burst into song, we see colors and we see shapes and giraffes are crawling on top of each other and
people are bouncing around each other.
It's very fun because that would not happen in the real world.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like this weird place with the songs where it's like I don't know why they're in it. Why are the songs in the movie?
I mean,
I would rather watch it without songs and just have it.
I kind of agree with you.
A little more gritty, a little more realistic.
It's like they played it straight, and I'm like, well, you can't really do that because only because of the way the songs are. The songs are really upbeat and joyful, and then you're playing it straight, and it just seems. On top of that, how realistic they look. I never got into the feel and the groove of the songs.
It wasn't fun to watch. There wasn't like a colorful. There was no. I mean, obviously we'll talk about this, but they can't really express emotions.
As much.
It wasn't fun to watch. It was just kind of like. I'm hearing the song, but the visual's not matching, and I was bored. Like, I mean, I really actively did not like watching this movie. It wasn't one of those ones where I was like, oh, I'll make it through, you know. I literally was just doing this the whole time. Like, I couldn't even watch it.
Yeah.
We saw it in 3D, and I think the last half hour, I just took my glasses off, and I'm just like, I'm done. Like, anybody else want to leave? Like, can I go get some popcorn, another glass of wine? Kill me, please. I don't know. Like, I really didn't like it.
But the weird, you know, what also is weird is that it's longer than the original. But yet I don't.
Felt longer.
But yet I don't really can like point to like all the significant things that they added.
Yeah.
Except for the Beyonce song, which we'll get to.
Oh my god, I forgot about that completely.
But
wait, there's a Beyonce song?
Yeah. Which
I'm telling you, I was like done. I was done.
But it wasn't even in a meaningful moment. Like again, let's compare it to Aladdin because that came out this year too.
Right.
At least the new song they added, they put it in a part of the movie where it can stand out, where you notice like, oh, there's a new song.
Yeah.
With this, she's singing it and they're just running along. And there's like no impactful moment
I gotta
where
say,
that song
I completely forgot
happens,
about it.
and it's just like a throwaway.
I completely forgot about it. Well, here's another thing they did in Aladdin that I appreciated. Whether or not it worked, at least they tried to give Jasmine more
to do, yeah,
more in terms of like how does she feel about all this?
Yes.
You know, and we got to hear that in that song.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like Beyonce really had much to do.
Absolutely not. Like the second they cast her, I'm like, oh, she's gonna have at least two more. She's gonna have like 2 or 3 more new songs.
Yeah,
and she's gonna have more
to do. Like
because Nala in the original didn't have that much to do either, and I feel like they didn't bump that character up at all.
Exactly.
She pretty much did the exact same stuff she did in the original, which is not a lot, except for now singing this song. But it wasn't even in a moment of importance, because I thought what they were going to do was play up a little bit more of Scar wanting her, and then Nala kind of rejecting him, and then maybe that's where the song would have come in, because it kind of hinted at it a little bit. I thought they were going to explore it a little bit more, but they didn't. And I thought that's where the song was going to come in, where he's like making advances on her, and she's like saying no.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that would have been really interesting. I mean, we keep coming back to this. Just do something different. Give us something new to latch onto that's like, oh, this movie's justified because you played with this character in a different way, or you played with these two characters in a different way, or this dynamic, or this character's arc is actually more fleshed out and it's different. None of that was the case in this new Lion King.
No. The other song that was really disappointing is Be Prepared.
It's time.
So,
time to talk about it.
Initially, it was not going to be in the movie, which I hated, because that is my favorite Disney bad guy song. I love that song. So when I first heard it wasn't going to be in it, I was really mad. Then when I heard they were going to put it back in, I was like, yes, they're going to put it back in. And I did the mistake of, before going in...
You did a mistake.
I listened to it on iTunes before, and I was like, oh my god, I hate this. But I was like, let me actually not try to judge it too much. Let me actually try to listen to it in the movie. So I'm sitting there, I'm waiting, I'm like, alright, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Alright, give it to me. Give it to me. And they get to it, and it's like, what the hell is this? It felt like they just threw it in there because we wanted it, but they didn't really care about it, so they just kind of threw it in there. The song, they cut a lot of the song out. Visually, it was just like, I don't know what the hell was going on. It was so disappointing. That's such a great song, and they just threw it in there like, it's like, all right, here, you want to be prepared? Here it is. Be quiet.
Yeah, I was ready to walk out of the theater at that point. I mean, so here's what's great about that original song. Number one, and this is what all songs should do in musicals, is it has to either give us an insight more into a character that we weren't able to see from just a dialogue scene, or it's supposed to move the story forward, or both. In this case, I feel like it did both, because it's like, all right, here's our plan, here's why I feel this way, and we're going to do it. Number two, that was only number one. Number two, it was obviously visually, like, we're talking about the art direction of that song and all the symbolism
like
and the weight
and everything,
I mean,
and then the bones and
it was like German expressionism.
Oh yeah.
And plus there were obviously some very clear like parallels between that and Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
So with the goose stepping, and I mean, it's genius and it's brilliant.
Yeah. Obviously I wasn't expecting it to look like that. But it's just the fact that
they don't have to do exactly that.
No.
But it could have been something just as like, oh,
yeah,
whoa, this guy's a threat.
Yes.
That's number 3.
Yes.
You know, after that song in the first one, okay, he's serious about this.
Yes.
This guy is a threat. This is a big deal. That also comes through with just the voice acting in general from Jeremy Irons.
Yes.
But this new Scar, not so much.
No.
This new song, not so much. Didn't really feel like it was a threat. I didn't feel worried or scared. I just felt like he's bad at slam poetry. And...
and
I don't know.
Chuto 4 is great, but he's just not Scar. Like, for me, the second you see Scar in the original, that's the bad guy. You already know. The second Scar opens his mouth, that's the bad guy. You know.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, I didn't get that from him. His performance is just...
It's dry. It was
very dry, not menacing at all.
That can't work when there's also no emotion that you're working with on the face of a lion. A dry performance might work if you actually had the original
animation,
of Scar,
and you can just see his
then you can see it in the
clever,
expression.
exactly, yeah.
But like those two, a dry performance and absolutely no expression because it's a freaking live action lion. No, can't do it. Can't do it.
He didn't come across as cunning and manipulating and dangerous. He didn't come off as any of those things. He just felt like. He
should be king.
Yeah, he just came out as like a spoiled guy who got robbed of his chance.
Yeah.
But like in the original, Scar just felt more than that.
Exactly, and like that was the whole thing in the original is that he's always been the smart one. Like, he's like absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
And Mufasa got it because he's noble or what, but in this one you don't get the sense that Scar, like you just said, that he's smart at all, and that was why I felt so weird about the song not playing out the way it did. Because he uses really big words and like a nice turn of phrase in the original, and this one was just kind of like, what?
They cut a lot of it out, and just like if they did the exact same thing they did in Aladdin, is you're gonna change the song up a little bit, but then make it fit your movie. Like with Aladdin, you got Will Smith, you change the songs to fit him. If you're gonna be prepared. Change it so it fits more of Chuitator's vibe more so than Jeremy Irons' vibe. But they didn't do that. I feel like really they just threw it in there. And for me, Be Prepared justifies in the original Scar winning for as long of a period as he did. Mm-hmm. Because when he
has
wins,
everyone on his side, like you can see
like that guy I can see
really in control.
Yeah, that guy won. Yeah. And I can see why he won.
Yeah.
In this, I don't buy that this Scar would be able to like control the hyenas and control the lionesses and put them in their place. Yeah. I didn't get that from him. I felt like the lionesses would just like pin smack him and he'd be out of there if it wasn't for the hyenas. This Scar, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. And then once that song didn't work, it was just like, all right, man. The other songs just didn't really jive for me because I love that song, and I can listen to the original song on repeat every single day without fault and love it every single time and anticipating hearing it again. Yeah. This one was just like, all right. If I never hear it again, I'll be fine.
I actually don't want to hear it again.
And all the other songs are just like the performances are just like we said, just playing it straight, and it just.
Well, here's another weird thing in terms of a song is Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Yeah.
Which is just weird, like watching, like, it's funny when animals hump each other, right? Yeah. But, like, I felt really, like, weird having it be, like, because they're so realistically rendered, it just felt really awkward for me to, like, see this, like, sexual tension play out in real animals. You know what I mean? Because there's like no humanity that I can really like draw myself to outside of their voices, which don't feel like they're coming from the animal.
It doesn't.
Really? So it just was like so weird to me. I'm just like, I don't want to watch real animals like have sex now or like.
I was intimate that they're about to.
Yeah, I was not. That was weird. I didn't anticipate that being as weird as it was for me. I was just like, ooh, No.
Well, because the original Nala just has, she's like on her back, her
Yeah,
neck just looks long.
but she has human expression.
Yeah.
So like you can.
She's like, you want this? You know you want it.
So it's like, okay, I get it because like that's a human expression.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I can see that, but this is just sort of like.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll be in agreement with this. Is
Needs
when
this now.
Timon and Pumbaa came in, it was just like a breath of fresh air, because
a little bit.
Without them, I would say more so in this one than the original. They're like, oh my god, thank God you're here because you lighten it up. The movie's already light for the most part before they come in the original. Obviously, Mufasa dying aside. But in this one, because the way they played so straight, I feel like Timon and Pumbaa are more so needed in this version.
Well, maybe, but then I also felt like tonally then it was weird. Because I'm just kind of like, wait, hold on. I thought we were telling this, like, serious story about, you know, what it's like to be an animal in the Sahara. And I didn't think we were going to have this kind of joke.
I was like, thank God. Because otherwise, I don't know what...
I mean, yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that, like, there were some moments that I really liked, but then there were also definitely some moments where I'm like, wow, you are trying way too hard to be funny. And it's not working.
True. I mean,
and it was too, sometimes it was too much.
Instead of being funny, they were trying to be funny, and that's not the same thing.
Yes.
So, but...
How do we agree on that?
But I would say, like, when they were on screen, at least it was fun. When they weren't on screen, it was just like, oh, so... To me, they're the best part of the movie. That's not saying that much.
There was like a little sugar glider or something, like a little, you know, like a little animal, like a little fuzzy mammal, or like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? There was like one little animal. He was so cute, and he's like, yay! I think it's when they were eating bugs. And it was like this little like sugar glider or something.
I don't know.
And I was like, oh, I want to see more from that guy because he's adorable.
But I would have liked them to explore Timon and Pumbaa a little bit more. So it's
you have
like,
the opportunity
almost kind of like how they did 1.5.
Yeah.
Where you saw it from their point of view.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna make the movie longer, give the side characters that in the original
that we love and
didn't get a lot of play.
Yeah, and want to see more of.
Give them some more to do. Like Rafiki.
Yeah.
Give him more to do. He's barely in the original, and he's barely in this. I almost forgot. Oh yeah, Rafiki's there. He's supposed to come back. Oh yeah, I forgot about him because he's barely in it. Give him more to do.
Scary monkey. I mean, here's another option that they could have used. We're never going to see a remake of any of the Disney Renaissance sequels, right?
True.
They're never going to remake Lion King 2.
No. So
why not maybe incorporate... I actually love that movie, by the way. I think it's the best sequel that they've ever done to any Disney movie outside of Aladdin, Prince of Thieves, which was the third installation. That's a really good movie too. Anyway, I digress. They could have made this more like different by bringing a lot of those elements into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe what if they just didn't do a remake of The Lion King and they just did a live action version of the sequel, like something that we haven't seen before, something, you know, like that would justify its existence. Maybe not necessarily the photorealism, but at least that would be like, oh, this is what happens after The Lion King.
Yes.
This is I want to see how they, you know, update this and make this more available.
That's fair.
Well, there's also a lot of elements from that one that they could have brought in. There's other songs, like for example in the stage play, the song oh, it's not We Are One. Is it We Are One? There's a couple of really good songs. Oh, He Lives in You. That's what it is. There's a couple of really good songs from the sequel that made their way into the stage performance. That would have been a really good way to switch it up, too.
Yeah, it would have been. Again...
Who's in charge here?
making it more your own is the thing we keep saying is justify... Like, obviously, it's made over $1 billion, so... It's done its job, but if you really analyze it as a movie, and then unfortunately if you compare it to the original, there's no way you can justify saying that the new one is as good as the original. I can't see an argument by anyone to say the new one is better than the old one. I don't know how you can make that claim.
Or even as good. It's true. and it's just a
that's true. You can't say it's as good. You can't say it's better.
Yeah.
There's no way. I love for you guys to try in the comments to say that it's better or as good as the original. There's no way. I would love to see what you guys come up with because I don't think it's evenly possible to compare it.
I want to hear from you guys too because I've heard a lot of people are like, "Oh, I loved it," and it's like, why though? I really want to know why. Like, specifically, what is it about this new one that you liked just as much or better than the original? Like, you don't have to have studied film or really know what's going on. I really, really want to know. Because I'm the only person that I know outside of you and maybe, like, one or two other people who did not like it. And everyone else is like, yeah, you're right,
I know.
It's like
what?
I get, but... It's no.
I don't see it. I really don't see it, and I feel this was worse than Aladdin, and you hated Aladdin.
I did not like Aladdin.
I was okay about it,
but like compared to this, Aladdin now looks much more
way better. Yeah,
way better.
Because at least with that, I said it before. I'm going to say it again. They took a chance. They took a risk. Mm-hmm. Like. Yeah. Again, I'm in my mind. Besides the Beyonce song, I can't even remember any new scenes that they added. I really can't. To be honest.
Oh, they said the word fart. So.
Which I don't like. Kids are smart. You don't need to make fart and poop jokes.
I swear, I am out. If there's a fart joke, I'm done.
Like watching the trailers ahead of time. It's like Angry Birds 2. There's like all this fart and poop jokes. It's like. Dude, kids are way smarter.
Birds do poop a lot.
Though. But you don't need to go to that level to entertain them. You you watch The Incredibles 2 or the original Incredibles, there aren't really any poop or fart jokes. No. And those movies are amazing, and kids love those movies. Just saying, look at Toy Story. Look, all 4 of them. Not really any poop and fart jokes.
We feel very strongly about this, but I feel like this comes up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I'm not like Mr. Snooty Pants. That
no,
like, oh my god,
I am definitely Mr. Snooty.
Oh my god, there's a fart joke.
I am Mr. Snooty Pants. I mean, I really am.
A well-placed fart or poop joke is great, but when you like are hitting me over the head with fart and poop jokes, obviously that's gonna smell. But the idea is. You don't need to do it because if you're thinking, haha, kids, we need to make a poop joke because we need to make kids laugh, you don't. Kids are smarter than that. They've always been actually smarter than that.
Well, at least in the original Lion King, they like allude to the fart joke, but then Timon says, "Pumbaa, not in front of the kids."
Exactly.
And so it's like, oh, so they almost did a fart joke, but in this one, they're just like,
but they
what?
Know,
you gonna stop me? Fart! I farted!
Yeah, but because they know, in the original, they know we don't have to go there. You could go there if you wanted to. I wouldn't have blamed them if they did. But the fact is, audience have been smarter than movie makers think they are. Movie makers think, like, we gotta dumb this down. Oh, kids are watching? Dumb it down. Kids are watching? Dumb it down. Fart poop jokes. They love that, right?
But here's the thing. They knew for this movie, they knew that it was going to be half kids, half
adults.
Us.
Yes.
So I'm not buying that.
Either A, taking the kids there, or like B, curious because I love the original. I want to see what they do with this one.
I did not bring kids there.
Yeah,
I do not have kids. I did not bring them.
I was both. I brought my niece and my nephews, and I'm a fan of the original, so I fell in both camps. I just felt like this movie's not really for me. The kids loved it because fart poop jokes or just jokes in general and just anything cool they'll like it. But for me, it's just like I
read an interesting article.
I was going like this, and then if I go like this,
that's what you know. No, I took my 3D glasses off. That's not a joke. I literally removed them with like a half hour left of the movie. I'm just like, I'm not watching. I'm done. I'm like, I don't even want this in front of me. It just looks like a blurry mess. I mean, because it just basically is.
Yeah.
In so many ways. But I read this interesting, just on that front, I read this interesting article, and I don't know where I found it, so I can't tell you guys where to find it. This was years ago now, where they did some kind of study on kids and how they respond to watching traditional 2D animation versus how they respond to watching photorealistic or 3D animation, and their brains actually were unable to process a 2D image on the screen because they're so used to watching, 3D, more photorealistic stuff. And I found that to be really sad, like that their brains couldn't. They're just like, oh, I don't know what I'm looking at, so they wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
So like the original Lion King, they wouldn't actually even
give it a chance.
Give it a chance because they don't know. They're like, what am I looking at? Because everything's 3D now.
Nothing really looks like that anymore, which is another sad story,
exactly.
but a story for another day. But the any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
I guess I thought, I thought some of the casting was so good, and I just felt so. Like John Oliver, for example, I was like, oh my god, he was born to play Zazu, but it was just so, like, meh. I don't know if that's the script, or if he wasn't given good direction, or the fact that it's not, and it's just like a normal, real-life toucan, or, whatever kind of bird he is. Some kind of buzzard, I don't know.
He's definitely not a buzzard. But, no, I get what you're saying.
I was, like, so disappointed. Like, I actually really wanted to be surprised by this movie.
And delighted by it, but it just...
I was surprised in the other way. I was like, oh, this is worse than I thought.
Because after seeing The Jungle Book and seeing Aladdin... Well, especially The Jungle Book, I really want to compare it more to that, because same director, same kind of style.
Yeah.
It felt even more awkward watching them sing in The Lion King than it did in Jungle Book. Mm-hmm. Even the big Louis in Jungle Book didn't seem as weird singing as the lions did in this. It just felt really like, maybe because the technology got better, and it even looked more realistic, and it just looks like...
maybe. Well, at least an orangutan is like, has human-esque
a little bit, yeah.
So like King Louis would, like, okay, I can recognize
Christopher
a
Walken's
human
singing
face.
was also just hilarious too, by the way.
Dude,
but in this, it just didn't work. I wanted it to work, I really did, but it just didn't. I'm sorry. Score out of 10?
Oh man, this might be like the lowest score that I've given a movie ever since we've been doing the channel.
Yeah. I
can't think of anything worse. We'll have to go back and look. Oh man, I don't know. I gotta give it. It's like a 3.5.
Wow.
4. Because there's nothing redeeming about it outside of the technology.
Yeah.
And the fact that individual performances were good, but they were also exactly like the original performances.
Yeah. There was no performance better than the original.
Absolutely not. That's where those 3 points come from. Just the fact that it looked incredible, and there were some solid performances.
Yeah, but
what else can I say? I don't know.
I mean, I don't think there's anything else really to say, because again, the songs were not like... I'm not buying any of these songs. I have a lot of the original songs, but I'm not going to get any of these. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to have to say 4. I mean, only because, like, when you look at it as a filmmaker point of view, it is remarkably stunning on what they accomplished. Like...
Technologically.
Yeah, it is amazing. And just like when you actually think about what you're actually looking at, that's incredible. So for that, great job. Everything else is just like, if it's not as good as the original, if it's worse, then what did you really accomplish by remaking it? If like you can't say anything is as good or better, I don't see what the point of making it was. Or even if we don't put that aside, different. If nothing was different or as good or better, there's really no reason this movie exists.
I'm going to say something that you're going to hate. I'm going to say it. There should have been humans in this movie.
No.
Yes,
no.
Because there's nothing about the Lion King. No, listen.
I'm listening.
There is nothing about the Lion King that has to be lions or warthogs. It is a very human story. It is about the relationship with your father and, it coming in your own and responsibility. Like, there's nothing about this movie where they had to use lions. It would have been really interesting to see this story unfold in Africa with humans, because I imagine that just would have been really fun. I don't know. And that would have been different. It would have been different.
Yeah, but...
I'm not wrong. I know you don't want to see it, but But that would be kind of cool, actually.
You would have to. I mean, but then you're making it so different. Then it's not the Lion King anymore. Then it's just.
No, it is. Have you seen the stage performance? Those are humans.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. Just imagine humans in these roles. It's not too hard.
Well, I mean, trust me. The only reason the stage plays humans because we can't get animals. If we could get animals,
but it still works.
It still works.
It works perfectly.
I
and
know.
There's nothing about it that has anything to do with lions. Yes, and you know I'm right. It can still be the Lion King. You have to change the name, maybe, or.
But then make your own movie at that. Make your own original movie at that point. But
fine.
If you want to call it the Lion King, and then you throw humans in there,
like the stage performance, it would not be that different. It's this. It would be like, you know what they're doing with they make movies from stage performances all the time.
I know, but for me,
as long as it doesn't look like cats.
Well, but that's a leap.
I would have. But tell me this: you would have rather seen that than whatever this was.
I'd be intrigued. Like I'd be like, "What are you gonna do?" But there is no way Disney would have taken that risk.
I'm
There's
just saying,
no way.
That's what they should have done. It would have been more interesting.
If you're on a Disney board, you'd be like, "No, this movie has to make $1 billion. We're not taking that much of a risk."
I understand that, but it would have been so much more interesting.
Maybe, and who's to say it wouldn't work? But look at how much uproar happened with Be Prepared
uproar.
Pun not intended.
Funny.
But look how much uproar there was for Be Prepared not being in there.
No, I
versus just like, we're gonna throw humans in there. What?
I know. What are you doing? I know it would not have gone over well. I just think it would have been.
But then we couldn't say that they didn't do anything different.
Exactly.
Like that, you couldn't get that out of me. Like, hey, at least they tried something different. So at least I would give them credit for that. I don't know if it would have worked, but at least they would have. Hey, you're doing something different. So maybe they should have.
Well, at least with Mulan, we're gonna see something that's not a musical.
No songs, playing it straight. So even with that justifies it being you remaking it because you're taking a different approach.
Exactly.
No songs. If they'd made The Lion King and said, "All right, we're playing it straight, no songs," I would have been disappointed, but I would have been like, "All right, let's see what it looks like, completely straight, no songs."
Maybe darker. That's what I'm hoping the angle they're gonna take with Mulan. Maybe it'll be like a little bit darker. I mean, there already are a lot of dark elements.
Yeah.
In Mulan, even The Lion King.
Yeah, there's dark moments in it. Absolutely. Like my niece was scared when Simba was like in trouble and stuff. She was a little scared because she's 4. So there's dark moments in it anyway. But the idea if they would just completely play it straight, I would have been even more interested to see it. Sad that some of the songs weren't going to be in, but seeing it now, it would have been like, fine, considering what you did with it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's what we think. What do you guys think? Again, if you loved it, tell us why you loved it. If you think it's as good, tell us why you think it's as good. And if you don't like it, and you agree with us, say you agree. But
tell me I'm right.
Yeah, I think we're justified in our thoughts. You may disagree, but tell us why you disagree. Just so more like, no, it's great, and don't give a reason. Give a reason why.
I want a reason.
Yeah, give us a reason why you like it, or give us a reason why you love it. Because there's a lot of people out there. I love this movie. Tell us why. We want to know. Also, like, subscribe, do all those great things.
Yes,
share this video with your friends if we agree with their opinion or we disagree. Share it and let's start a dialogue. Also, hit that notification bell to be notified when we do our next video. But until then, I'm Sean.
I'm Alex.
Be prepared for sadness.